Hello guys, what's going on? My name is GamerGator and today we are doing a very different video for the channel if you saw the thumbnail and read the title. Yes, there I am, Mr. GamerGator there. There he is. I don't want to talk about myself in third person. Anyways, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be ranking all the dinosaurs in the Jurassic Park franchise. This is not based off of screen time, size, anything like that. It's based off of how well used they were in the films. Now, I know I normally do gaming videos, that sort of thing, but I do like to do an odd video every now and then, and I think this will be that odd video. Oh, jeez, I just hit the mic. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Are you okay, guys? You okay? Alright. Um, yeah, I like doing an odd video every once in a while. I don't want to just do gaming the entire time. I want to have some fun on YouTube, and, that's pretty much what this is. And yeah, we're gonna rank all the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park franchise. Jurassic Park is one of my favorite franchises of all time. The first film is my favorite movie of all time, so I hold this franchise very close to my heart. And without further ado, let's just get on with the list. Here we go. And wait, before we get on with the list, just a big old spoiler alert because yeah, there will be spoilers for the first 5 films in the franchise. I don't know if when you're watching this, Dominion is already out. Hope it doesn't take that long to post the video. But there will be spoilers for Jurassic Park 1, 2, 3, and then Jurassic World 1 and 2. But anyways, without further ado, no more wasting time, let's get into the list. Also, I will be splitting this into 2 parts because there are 26 dinosaurs to rank at the end of the day, so a lot of dinosaurs. I'd rather split it into 2 parts, and we'll see when episode 2 gets uploaded. I don't even know yet. It will maybe be at the same time, maybe a day later, let's see. Anyway, number 26, let's freaking get started. We have the Corythosaurus. As you can see also, the image for the Corythosaurus in the top right is the only image that I could not get a good picture for from the film. I had to use from Jurassic Revolution. That's how minor of a role this dinosaur had in the franchise. Also, I put in some stats there just because why not? If you want to argue with me on the stats, fine, whatever. Whether they're incorrect or not, this is just to fill some space, and I'm pretty certain they're correct, or at least close to correct. The thing about the Corythosaurus is, if it wasn't there, the movie would not change at all. In Jurassic Park 3, if it was just a herd of parasaurs rather than parasaurs and Corythosauruses, would we notice? Would we be like there was something missing? No, it was fine. I mean, and the skin isn't even that good. It's kind of ugly. So, yeah, sorry, Corythosaurus. I like you as a dinosaur. It's just in the films, you were not utilized well. Anyways, number 25. Number 25, we have the Mamenchisaurus. The only very slight reason the Mamenchisaurus goes above the Corythosaurus, and I actually forgot this dinosaur was in the Lost World for a long time. The only reason it goes above Corythosaurus is because there's a guy on a motorcycle and he drives him between the legs to look cool. And that was kind of cool. So that's why Mamenchisaurus is above Corythosaurus. Other than that, again, it really did nothing for the film. If that was Brachiosaurus instead, I think it wouldn't have made a difference. In fact, it would have saved more time on this video, Jurassic Park franchise. Alright. Now at number 24, we have the Allosaurus, the first dinosaur from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom here. And I didn't really like the way the Allosaurus was used at all in the movie. Again, it was barely in it. It didn't really do anything to move the story forward. It didn't put in a really cool scene in my head. All I remember was it getting its face smashed by a rock. That was pretty much it. But the reason it's above the other 2 dinosaurs is because it has a cooler design, pretty much. That's really the only reason why. It has a cooler design and it had slightly more screen time. So that's why I would take the Allosaurus over the other 2, but really not by a lot. Now at number 23, we have the Ceratosaurus. Now, I really like the Ceratosaurus. I think it's a good dinosaur. I think it's pretty cool. But in the movie, I don't think it was utilized well. And Jurassic World Evolution is one of my favorite dinosaurs in the game. And so it kind of hurts to, put it this low because it's a good dinosaur. But it's just, it was used for comic relief in the film. Ceratosaurus was gonna eat the people, but they smelled like poop, and so it walked away. That was what it did. I mean, it's a little funny, that's why it gets a slight bump over the other 3, and it has a really cool design. I mean, I get that the image is blurry, but it's an awesome looking design, so You can still tell. And that's really why it goes above the other dinosaurs, but again, not a very interesting dinosaur in the films. Or film, even, because it's only in one of them. Next up at number 22 is Carnotaurus. Now, I would definitely say Carnotaurus is above the other four dinosaurs that came behind it. But I still don't think that Carnotaurus was utilized well in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I really don't, because the scene where it was attacking the gyrosphere on the island was, I mean, why? You're running from a freaking active volcano. Animals don't stop to have a snack when they're running for their life. That's just wrong. You don't do that. It just needed to make an action sequence. I mean, seriously? No. No. Not okay with that. And it fights a Sinoceratops again for no reason. And at the end, it does help eat the bad guy in the movie, which is kind of cool. So I mean, at least I remember it. That's why it's above the others. It does more memorable stuff than the other dinosaurs, so that's why it's ahead of them. But it still was not utilized well in the film. Next up is going to be the Stygimoloch, however you want to pronounce it. I don't know about this dinosaur. I feel kind of mixed on it. On the one hand, I do remember it. It had a good amount of screen time, but was it utilized well in the film? I don't know. It was a bit, cartoony, I'm not sure I really liked that for the Sticky, because, I mean, I didn't mind it when they got them out of the jail cell. I thought that was okay. But when the Sticky just starts running around and you see people flying in the air, is that really what you want in a Jurassic Park film? I mean, yeah. Also, Fallen Kingdom is definitely my least favorite film in the franchise, so that doesn't help any of the dinosaurs from that movie, so yeah, not a big fan of the Sticky. Also, I'm just saying, it took a while to make these slides, so please appreciate them. Just kidding, it's fine. I don't care, whatever. Number 20 is going to be a Sinoceratops. One reason that it's high, or higher up than the others, is because of the design. It's freaking chubby, and I love it. It's adorable. And I thought it was kind of cute when it was licking Owen on the face. Like, oh, I kind of liked it. I kind of liked it. And overall, it didn't do anything as bad as the dinosaurs did below it, like the Carnotaurus or the Stygimoloch. But it didn't do anything as memorable. But it was more memorable than the Allosaurus, Mamenchisaurus, and Ceratosaurus, and Ceratosaurus. I'll give it that. So, and it's so chubby. Part of my love for it comes from Jurassic World Evolution. Actually, no, all of my love for it comes from Jurassic World Evolution. That's really the only reason. It might be lower if I didn't love that dinosaur so much in Jurassic World Evolution, but hey, it's my list. I'm allowed to be biased. That's exactly how this works, of course. And just to keep this fair, this is my opinion. If you find it controversial, fine, but please, please don't get too mad at me. It's my opinion. I won't get mad at your opinion if you don't get mad at mine. Deal? Deal. Alright, number 19 is the Dimorphodon. Now, I know Dimorphodon is not a dinosaur. Neither is Pteranodon or Mosasaurus, which are also included on this list. I'm not going to say where, but they are included. But, the thing about the Dimorphodon is that it had a few cool parts. Like, when it landed on top of Owen and was trying to bite him. And it did some cool stuff in the film. A few cool things, and that's why I would say Dimorphodon is definitely above the other, 7 dinosaurs that were placed before. I think this one's definitely better. And that's because, well, it did more stuff. But the thing is, I mean, kind of similar problem that the Ceratosaurus had. I mean, the Pteranodon was pretty much doing all the work in that movie. The Dimorphodon just did only a few things. Pteranodon was really the one doing all the cool stuff, so. Dimorphodon doesn't do much for me when you have Pteranodon, and I'd rather watch the Pteranodon in the same movie. And it's just a less interesting dinosaur. It's really only there for variety and nothing else. That's why Dimorphodon is there. But it still has a cool design. It's still pretty interesting. So that's why it takes 19. Coming in number 18 is the Parasaurolophus. It surprised me when I found out that Parasaurolophus was in all of the films, because it's not that memorable in most of them. I mean, I remember in Jurassic Park on the lake. I definitely remember it in Lost World because, well, the image that you're seeing right there with it being taken down by the people. I don't remember it in the third film. I'm assuming it was probably on the riverbank when Grant, Eric, Amanda, and Paul were on the river on the boat and they were looking at the dinosaurs on the edge. That's what I assume. That's where I assume it was placed. Maybe somewhere else. Maybe it was, actually it might have been when they were in the plane, and it might have been when the dinosaurs are running below. That's also possible. And in Jurassic World, I remember being on the gyrosphere, and I guess I remember in Fallen Kingdom running away from the volcano. But the point is, even though it was in all the movies, it didn't do much in all of them except for Lost World when it spun those guys around, which was cool. But other than that, it didn't really do much. It's a cool dinosaur. I like the design. It doesn't do much for me. Now, coming in at number 17 is the Pachycephalosaurus. There is one reason, and one reason only, it is this high up. And that is when it hits the guy through the Jeep in the Lost World. That scene was freaking awesome. I loved it. But it doesn't do much else. So, yeah. Other than that, Pachycephalosaurus doesn't really do much in the franchise, so I can only put it so high. So, yeah, Pachycephalosaurus unfortunately has to take 17, even though I do enjoy it, technically. So I guess from here on out, you could technically say I enjoy every dinosaur, or thought they were incorporated well enough. So, yeah, there you go, Pachycephalosaurus. Also in Jurassic World, it really didn't do anything at all in Jurassic World other than lay down. It could have not been in the movie and it would have been fine. Now, coming in number 16, we have the Stegosaurus. This may be a controversial spot, I'm unsure. But, look, it was in the Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World, and Fallen Kingdoms. It was in 4 films, and other than that one scene in Lost World, it really didn't do much in any of the movies. Also, that skeleton you're seeing there, I saw that in person, so that was cool. But, other than in Lost World, it didn't do anything in the films. I mean, had that one cool scene in Lost World, something to the Pachycephalosaurus. It has that one cool scene, and then it doesn't really do anything else. That's pretty much what the Stegosaurus is. I don't know what. It just somehow became one of the most iconic dinosaurs for the series. Because of, I guess, from that one scene in Lost World. But, I mean, other than that, it really didn't do anything for the franchise. So, yeah, it's a great scene. I actually like that scene a lot. But, again, other than that scene, it has to be more than one scene. Actually, you know what? I'm going to sound like a hypocrite when I talk about my next dinosaur. And number 15 is the Baryonyx. Yes, I know it only appeared in one film, and that was in Fallen Kingdom. But you know what? That was a great freaking scene. It was scary, it had intimidation, it was an actual well-done scene in Fallen Kingdom. That was one of the best scenes in the film, if not the best. Now, yes, bias does come into play here because Baryonyx is my favorite dinosaur. Yes, there is bias, but you know what? It's my list. I'm allowed to be biased. It's my favorite dinosaur, and I was happy with the way it was utilized for that scene. I just wish it was used more often in the film. But you know what? Compared to how the other dinosaurs were used in films, such as the Carnotaurus, Stygimoloch, Sinoceratops, Allosaurus, this one was used much better than all 4 of those. So, happy with Baryonyx in terms of those regards, because just because of, because of that one scene, and it looked like it was gonna kill Franklin, and I really wanted him to, because I hate that character. So, yeah, there you go, 15 baryonyx, and now we're going to look at the last dinosaur for this video, and then part 2 will continue with number 13. And the last one we're going to look at here is the Apatosaurus. Now, again, I know I used the whole one scene thing, but you know what? I actually felt emotions when that Apatosaur died in Jurassic World. I actually thought that was a pretty well done scene. It was a huge moment for Claire, so in terms of story, it was actually pretty important for the overall franchise, and it really changed who Claire's character is, and that's, important. So, yeah, Apatosaurus was important. It had a good scene where it died. It was pretty emotional. I just really like that scene. I don't know why. And then, the thing about the Apatosaurus is there was no Brachiosaurus in Jurassic World, so Apatosaurus was used to be this big dinosaur for the movie, and I think it worked decently well. Nowhere near to the level of the Brachiosaurus, don't get me wrong, but in terms of variety and size, Apatosaurus fit in well, and much better than the Mamenchisaurus it did, because, this dinosaur was actually memorable. So, yeah, we're going to end the video here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave a like if you did, it'll help out a lot. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.